Okay, guys, the final video of the year. So it's just, weird ending the school year. Wish we were all there. I wish I could hang out with you, especially it's a fun time at the end of the year, doing different activities and stuff, but this is where we're at. But the good thing, I'll have all the seniors next year, so I'll have everybody, and I know there's a few juniors. I mean, next year will be juniors that are sophomores right now. But in general, everybody's going to be senior. So I'll have everybody because next year's juniors will be in those advanced classes. So you'll have me. Okay, so I'm going to teach all the senior level classes next year. Okay, so even if you're a junior next year, if you're in a senior level class, you'll be with me. So anyway, let's kind of similar problem. I think I was telling you on the last video, what we're going to do is similar problem, do the synthetic division, but this was the one that had to use that quadratic formula. I know it's been a little while, and this will be kind of a good way to end, kind of put a little challenge in for you, okay? So we'll go kind of quicker through this first part. Remember, guys, whatever sets this equal to 0 and solves, so this is going to be get rid of the plus 3, minus 3, okay? So the first, remember what's in the box is that opposite sign, so -3, and then these coefficients, so 2, 11, 18, and 9. Okay, we'll do our synthetic division. Okay, a 2 comes down, -3 times 2, -6, 11 minus 6, 5, -3 times 5, -15, 18 minus 15, 3, right? -3 times 3, -9, boom, there we go. There's our remainder 0. So again, if you're not getting remainder 0, go back, look at your steps, look at your signs, okay, and watch what you have here. Okay, remember, guys, these three numbers go back into the polynomial. So 2 goes with x squared, 5 goes with x, okay, and then 3 is by itself. So, guys, remember, when we had a number in front of x squared, we could not do the 2 parentheses. There was no way to do the 2 parentheses here. So remember what we did the A, the B, and the C. Remember that? We labeled A, B, C, and we used this formula. Remember, -b plus or minus, I know this was on the board normally, but b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. I'm sure everybody had that memorized, right? Okay, so anyway, remember, we just plug the numbers in and simplify and see what we get. Okay, so a negative in front of b, now b is 5, so negative in front of 5, plus or minus, okay, b squared, so 5 squared minus 4, parenthesis a is 2, parenthesis c is 3. Okay, all over 2 times a. So remember this, -5 plus or minus square root of 5 squared minus 4 times 2 times 3, all over 2 times 2. Okay? Now I'm going to move down one more line here. So -5 plus or minus. Now, guys, remember, we typed this whole thing in here. So parenthesis 5, parenthesis squared. And I know you don't have the yellow calculator, so this is a little tougher. I know you probably are using Google Calculator on your computer. But 5 squared minus 4 times 2 times 3 actually comes out to be 1. Okay, and then 2 times 2 is 4. Now, guys, remember, see if this is a perfect square. Now, a lot of people kind of forget. 1 is a perfect square, 1 times 1. So, guys, remember, the next thing we do then is, if I have a perfect square right there, I can keep going. Now, remember, if that was not a perfect square, we stopped. Okay? So, remember, we take the -5 plus or minus. Okay, square root of 1 is 1. All over 4. Now, remember, because that is a perfect square, that 1's a perfect square, remember, I can separate this. Now, I know some of this was extra credit for some of you, but remember, I separate the -5 with a +1. I separate the -5 with a -1. So -5 plus 1 is a -4. -4 over 4 is a -1. Okay, -5 minus 1 is a -6 over 4. Okay, now that has to reduce. Divide by 2. Divide by 2. -3 halves, and boom. There's our answer. So -1 and -3 halves. Okay, there's our answer. Okay, let's try another one. Okay, this time it's x minus 2. So remember, if I solve for 0, I get a +2, and then my coefficients are 3. Now again, watch your signs. That's a -13. Okay, +8 and +12. Right? Okay, I draw my line. Okay, remember the first number comes down. 2 times 3 is 6. -13 and 6, -7. 2 times -7, -14. 8 and a -14, -6. 2 times -6, excuse me, is -12. Boom. There is my 0. Okay, so again, remember, these numbers go back into our polynomial. Okay. Now again, because I've got a number here that's not 1, I've got to do that A, B, and C thing. Now, because, look, that B is a negative, remember? So over here's our formula. Let me make sure you can see it again. It's right there. Remember, here's our formula. I'm not going to write the formula again, but there's that formula. So -b, now remember, because b is a negative of a -7. Remember that? A negative of a -7, because there's a negative in front of b, and b has its own negative. Okay, now remember, that -7 is my b. You got to put that in parentheses when you go to square that. -4 times a, okay, times c. Now c is a -6. Make sure you stick that negative in there. All over 2 times 3. Okay, now I'm going to need a calculator for this one. Okay, now remember, the double negative here goes +7. So minus a -7 turns +7. Now remember, we can type this underneath part in our calculator. Okay, I did the other one kind of in my head, but this one's a little tougher. So parenthesis, -7, parenthesis squared, -4 times 3 times -6. Boom. 121. And then the bottom, remember, bottom's 2 times 3, that's 6. Okay? Now again, because that 121 is a perfect square, we can keep going. Okay, I'm going to move over here. So square root of 121 is 11, right? So 7 plus or minus 11 over 6. There we go. So 7 plus or minus square root of 121 is 11 over 6. Now remember, we separate. So 7 plus 11 over 6, comma, 7 minus 11 over 6. Okay? 7 plus 11 is 18. 18 over 6, 18 divided by 6, right? 3. Boom. There's that answer. 7 minus 11, that's a -4 over 6. Now, -4 over 6 reduces to -2/3. Remember, we're divide by 2, divide by 2. So -2/3. Boom. There's our answer. Okay. So again, this is challenging. Okay, you might need to watch this more than once just to go back through these steps. Okay, so here's your last assignment. Okay, just do this blue problem here. Okay, enter it in the best you can. I just want to point out, guys, remember, I'm going to go ahead and remind you. Okay, in front of this x squared, put a 1, right? You got to have a coefficient there for the synthetic division. So make sure you put a 1 there. So it's going to be 2, 1, negative 5, positive 2. Okay, make sure you put a 1 here when there's no coefficient, okay? Okay, I just didn't want you to get stuck on that. Okay, guys, we will see you in the fall, Lord willing, and we're all back to school and everybody's healthy, okay? So have a great summer. God bless you guys. Take care. Bye.